Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Taylor, and this is another episode of the Happy Doc. And we're just going to hop right into the episode for today. I have been off line for a little bit. I've been super busy with residency, but I'm really excited to record some more and just talk about different topics. I'm obviously open to also hearing your suggestions as well. So please let me know if there's anything you want to discuss. So for today, I just think this topic is super important. And I think so many people fall into this trap, including myself, of doing too much. So I want to talk about intentional non-doing. It's essentially setting up times for intentionally not being productive, intentionally relaxing, intentionally creating space for thinking, for reflecting, for meditating, for doing something that is unrelated to the screen, unrelated to work, unrelated to being blocked in. And this needs to be set up every day. The number one thing I see a lot of people, especially in our Western society, that always tells us to be productive is we're always doing. We're always thinking we need to do more. We're always thinking we need to work more. But in fact, when we are able to relax better, when we're able to create spaces of time that are reflection, that are just about thinking, that are about contemplating, that are about getting away, that's when we're going to be able to also maximize our productivity. There's a balance. And if we are overly productive, if we work too much, if we stress too hard on needing to do, but we're not also simultaneously able to relax, we're not going to be able to get the maximal efficiency. And ultimately, we're just not going to be as happy or fulfilled or productive. The other issue about constantly doing is we can get very tunnel vision and we aren't able to pull back and see the bigger picture, see the patterns that we're doing, making sure that maybe we're actually acting in the way or the direction that we want to go. If we continue to do and do and do, it can be an addiction. It can be a way of avoiding looking in the mirror and checking out what we're actually doing. So I think that what I'd like to highlight in this little episode today is thinking about, number one, are you overly productive and stressed about doing things? And secondly, if you find yourself being overly productive and doing things, what are ways that you have been able to balance yourself in the past? What are some things that really were able to get your mind clear? What most people used to do, and now it's very difficult, is to travel. Now with the COVID pandemic, traveling is highly, highly limited. But we can still get away, so to speak, by intentionally choosing to do things or create spaces in our time. So for me, that's meditation, also walking in nature. Right now, it's pretty cold out for me, but meditating or creating spaces definitely clears my head. But what is it for you? What can you not do? What are spaces that you can create for yourself? There's a well-known professional chess player, Josh Waitzkin. He also does a lot of speaking as well. I heard him speak about this idea of creating spaces for thinking time where he spends 20 minutes, 30 minutes of not doing anything, but contemplating, reflecting, thinking through what it is that he's going through and what he wants to do next. So it's this mental planning phase without doing anything else. Now, if you're listening to this and you think that's crazy, you got to realize you're probably doing too much if you're not able to slow down, to pause, to be with yourself, and to think about your next steps. Now, I want to actually flip it around to the other side, which is maybe we're not doing enough and we can be sluggish, we can be a sloth, we're not producing enough. So it's also important to balance this out. It's important to produce, it's important to create, it's important to be productive. And that's when we need to peel back and do intentional non-doing. But if you're not doing much, then I would ask you obviously the opposite, which is how do you activate yourself? How are you going to move forward? How are you going to push yourself even though you don't want to, in order to start to produce, in order to start to create, in order to put yourself out there, because that's really important too. But more than not, I'm seeing currently that most people need to work on their relaxation, their non-doingness. A lot of people have a difficult time slowing down, pausing, taking the breath. And I'm intentionally actually slowing down as I'm speaking to make the point. So if you feel high strung, if you feel stressed, if you can't relax, we have to take a step back. We have to breathe. We have to slow down, and we just have to set up some time to chill, to not do, to reflect. So I hope that I am just making the point to stop doing so much. And in fact, when we peel back and slow down, we can often be more efficient in our thinking and be more effective in our actions, so that when we do stuff and when we do produce, we're moving in a direction that is ultimately more effective and actually is going to be done in a more peaceful manner. So I hope you guys enjoyed that topic for today. You can always email me. It's thehappydoc1@gmail.com. You can check out the podcast, The Happy Doc. And we're also putting this up on YouTube as well. And I would love to hear your thoughts and comments as well. So would love to hear from you guys. Have an amazing day. And I will see you on the next episode of The Happy Doc. Take care.